Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate in 3 different ways. So let's get started. So there's 2 different types of chocolate. There's real chocolate and then there's compound or fake chocolate. Just read the ingredients. If one of the ingredients is cocoa butter or cocoa fat, then it is real chocolate. If it contains a different type of fat and no cocoa butter, then it is compound chocolate or fake chocolate. And both real and fake chocolate have different benefits. Real chocolate melts in your mouth and it tastes great. However, it has to be tempered and it's more expensive. And then compound chocolate doesn't have to be tempered and it's less expensive. However, it has a higher melting point, so it doesn't melt in your mouth like real chocolate does, and it just doesn't taste as good. So if you're like me, who cares a lot about taste than anything else, then go with real chocolate. And so I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate in 3 ways. So what does tempering chocolate mean, and why do you have to temper chocolate? It means you can only heat it to a certain point so it can set firm at room temperature. Tempering the chocolate will make it set firm like this and it holds its shape well at room temperature. If you don't temper the chocolate, then it will set like this. It will be really soft at room temperature and it won't hold its shape very well. So it is important that you temper the chocolate for it to set firm while it's at room temperature. And so I'm going to show you 3 ways to temper the chocolate. So keep in mind that if you get any water in your chocolate, even a tiny bit, it will make it seize and it's going to go thick and lumpy and it can't be used. So before you start, you need to make sure all of your tools and equipment are completely dry. If your chocolate does seize, you can still use it for ganache, but you can't use it for anything using melted chocolate. So the first method I'm going to show you is probably the easiest one. So the first thing you need to do is chop up your chocolate bar into small pieces. The smaller the better, because the smaller they are, the faster it will melt. And then once you've chopped up your chocolate, place it into a heat-proof bowl. And then heat it in the microwave at 50% power, or for my microwave, it's power level 5, for 30 seconds. And then you take it out of the microwave and you stir it really well. At this point, the chocolate won't be very melted, but it is important that you stir it to make sure it's heating evenly. If the chocolate hasn't melted much, put it back in the microwave for 20 seconds. If a lot of the chocolate has melted, put it in for 10 seconds. And then take it out and stir it really well. At this point, the chocolate is starting to melt a little bit. And now you need to microwave it for another 10 seconds. And then just repeat 10 seconds and stir it in between until the chocolate is just melted. And now at this point you can see the chocolate is mostly melted, but there are still some lumps in it. You don't want to heat it up just yet because you don't want to heat it too hot. So just keep stirring it and the lumps remaining will melt into the mixture. And if the chocolate has cooled down and there's still lumps, you can microwave it for another 10 seconds. And you see, as I'm stirring it, all those lumps have melted into the mixture. So that's the easiest way to temper chocolate. You just heat it just enough to melt it, but not so much that it goes out of temper. So for the next method, you're going to need a marble surface. And then you just completely melt your chocolate, either in the microwave or over a double boiler. You don't have to worry about how hot you're heating it. Just heat it until it's completely melted. And then you pour about 2/3 of the chocolate onto your marble surface. And then spread it out flat. And then scrape it back into the center. And then you spread it out again. And scrape it back into the center. And you just repeat that until your chocolate is cooled and thick. And once your chocolate is thick, just put it back into the bowl with the rest of the melted chocolate. And you mix it through, and that will thin it out. And that's the second method on how to temper chocolate. So for the last method, you're going to need a candy thermometer. And this is the method I prefer because you can really tell if the chocolate has gone out of temper or if it's still in temper. So what you need to do is chop up your chocolate and add about 2/3 of it into a heat-proof bowl. And I like to chop up the other third even smaller to help it melt faster later. And then the chocolate that's in your bowl, just heat it in the microwave or over a double boiler until it's completely melted. You don't have to worry about how hot you're heating it at this point. If you're doing it over a double boiler, make sure the water is simmering and not boiling. And also make sure the water doesn't touch the bottom of the bowl. So I'm gonna melt it right now. Then once all the chocolate is melted, you can take it off the heat. Then you add the candy thermometer into it and you cool it down to 97 degrees. Then once your chocolate is cooled to 97 degrees, add in the rest of the chocolate that we set aside from earlier. And mix it through with the melted chocolate. So if there's still lumps in your melted chocolates, then just put it back over the double boiler and heat it just until it gets to 93 degrees. You don't want to heat it hotter than that or it's gonna go out of temper. If you do go over 93 degrees, it's okay, there's a way to fix it. Just add in some more chopped up chocolate, mix it through, and then heat it up again just until it gets to 93 degrees. And you can use this method to temper any chocolate you like, whether it's milk, white, or dark. If you plan on coloring tempered white chocolates, you need to make sure you're using either candy coloring or powdered food coloring. You can't just use normal liquid or gel food coloring because it's water-based and it will make your chocolate seize. So that's how to temper chocolate in 3 different ways. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got so many more on my channel, so be sure to check them out and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.